Hey guys, Aaron here over at Pro Tint. I just wanted to explain a couple reasons why we do tinting and how we do tinting. The most common reason people do tinting is for glare reduction or heat protection. That's not always the case. People think that most of the time they come in, they want their car blacked out, they want as much visible light cut as possible to get that heat protection or to get that privacy. That's not necessarily the case. You can get heat reduction and UV infrared without necessarily going dark. I have a couple options here that can kind of show you the differences. Depending on your budget, we have films starting around $200 and we have films that go all the way up to $600. Starting on the far left here, we have our Prime CS. This is going to be more of our basic film. It's going to give you UV protection, so it's going to keep the car cooler than no film. It's going to give you your basic tinted look. 50% is what's legal on the front doors. 35, 20, or 5 you can do on the back half. Utah as a state regulates how dark we can go on the front, so we can only do these. A step up from that would be like our Prime XR. This is going to be a ceramic based film. It's going to give you better heat protection as well as a little bit darker, blacker look. That's going to be our most common film. That runs about $400 per car. So the step up from that is going to be an XR Plus. This is going to be kind of towards the higher end of heat protection. So the Prime XR Plus has a little bit of a bluish color to it. The biggest thing that's going to be is it's going to be a little bit easier on your eyes. When you're out driving around, it's not going to be so bright, help knock those lights down. The other thing too is it has about 15% total solar energy, so you're going to get a lot better heat protection. I have this film on my car and I actually find myself even turning the AC down a little bit because it does work so well. The other thing is we offer this film in at 80%, which is essentially clear that you can put on the whole windshield. That's going to cut all those UV and infrared light without being over the Utah legal limit. So this Audi we tinted back in 2008. This is a longtime customer of ours. He broke the windshield not too long ago and he wanted to get some type of protection back on it. This is a XPEL XR Plus in at 80%. This has 99% UV and 98% infrared. The easiest way to explain this film is it's kind of like sitting out in the sun or sitting in the shade. It's going to dramatically reduce the heat that is coming in from the front of the car. We also redid these doors because back in 2008, 2009, most of the films only had UV protection. Things have changed a lot since then. These now have UV as well as infrared, which is going to dramatically increase how much heat comes into the car. A lot of people forget about their sunroofs because they do come factory tinted with like a 20%, so it does look tinted, but it doesn't actually have any heat or UV, infrared, any of that stuff. So you can put any of these films on the sunroofs, but the most common are going to be these two because they have the most heat protection, and you can either do a really light film if you like the light coming in but you want to block all the heat, or if you like having your shade open, you can do the darker one, and that'll cut visible light as well as UV infrared. So one of the other big reasons too why a lot of people tint their vehicles is because if your car's sitting out in a parking lot or something like that, it's going to get hot no matter how long it sits out there or what kind of tint is on it. All of these films are going to dramatically reduce those temperatures, making the car a lot easier to cool down when you get back in it, which is going to make your kids happier or your pets happier when they get in there on the seats that aren't as hot. The other thing too is protecting the dash and the door panels and stuff like that. Or the biggest thing is a lot of cars don't have rear AC, so the AC in the front is working really well, but the back or the cargo areas, if you have animals or small children in like the third row seats, that makes a big difference on cooling the car down and keeping the car cool once you're on your trip or on your way to the store. So Utah actually has one of the highest rates of skin cancer in the country, and all these films are going to actually be recommended by the Skin Cancer Association to help reduce those numbers in skin cancer on your arms or your passengers or face or anything like that. So no matter which film you go with, even our standard film all the way up to our highest end film, they're all going to have lifetime warranties on pilling, bubbling, and color change. And they're not only going to make the car look nicer, but they're going to perform better. So here at Pro Tint, we do everything by appointments. Normally we're 2 to 3 days in advance. As the summers get hotter, we do get a little bit more in advance. We do everything by appointments. We're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit us on Facebook, call us, email us, any of those. If you have any questions, just let us know.